For today's episodes of Global Headwinds, let me take you on a journey not across land but across water. Imagine standing at the edge of the world's largest expanse of blue. The Pacific Ocean and the Indian Ocean together stretch across nearly 234 million square kilometers, more than half of the Earth's surface. Beneath them lies the abyss of the Challenger Deep, plunging nearly 11,000 meters down, deep enough to swallow Mount Everest whole. But this story is not about deaths. It is about power. Because across these waters lies the most consequential theater of the 21st century, the Indo-Pacific. From the western shores of Americas to the eastern coast of Africa, from Siberia to Australia, the Indo-Pacific is home to over 80% of the humanity. 4 of the world's 5 largest economies sit here: the United States, China, India, and Japan. This is where the world manufactures, trades, innovates, and arms itself. China's factories hum, Japan and South Korea refine technology. Taiwan produces advanced semiconductors. India rises as both market and military power. Militarily, too, the region is dense with strength. India, China, and the United States field 3 of the world's largest armed forces. Even Russia touches this theater through its Pacific coastline. And so it is no coincidence that America's largest unified military command is the United States Indo-Pacific Command. Because whoever controls the Indo-Pacific shapes the future. The story truly changed on December 7, 1941. When Japanese aircraft struck Pearl Harbor, over 6,000 kilometers from Japan, the illusion of American power shattered. Aircraft carriers, not battleships, proved decisive. Naval warfare would never be the same again. After the World War II, Washington drew a hard lesson. Its Pacific coast was not a distant frontier, it was a front line. The United States built alliances like fortresses. Japan, South Korea, Australia. Military bases stretched across the Pacific, including Guam, and further west into the Indian Ocean at Diego Garcia. Carrier strike groups patrolled thousands of kilometers from home. The strategy was simple. Don't wait for the threats to arrive. Meet them at their doorstep. But from Beijing's perspective, the map looks different. To China, American fleets cruising east of South China Sea are not guardians of stability. They're intruders in what Beijing considers its sphere of influence. The friction sharpened after the 2016 ruling under the UN Convention on Law of the Sea rejected China's sweeping claims in the South China Sea. Beijing refused to accept the verdict. Territorial disputes multiplied with Vietnam, the Philippines, Malaysia, and others. Meanwhile, China quietly expanded its navy. Shipyards worked relentlessly. Destroyers, submarine, aircraft carriers, one by one, they entered service. Because in Beijing's strategic calculus, parity at the sea is the only language that Washington understands. A US carrier group may take 10 to 12 days to sail from America's west coast to East Asia, but geography cuts both ways. The Pacific is vast, but so is the ambition. Then there is Taiwan. For China, Taiwan is a history unfinished, symbolism and strategy intertwined. Reunification is framed as its destiny, but control over Taiwan would also reshape the balance of power in the Western Pacific and challenge American influence in the region. For the United States, Taiwan represents credibility. And for Japan, any instability around Taiwan is existential. Japanese territory lies dangerously close to potential flashpoints. It was Japan's former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe who, as early as 2007, advocated closer coordination between the democratic maritime powers. That vision evolved into the Quad, an informal security dialogue between the United States, Japan, Australia, and India. Not an alliance, but a signal. Further west lies India, another civilizational state, another rising power. India shares a disputed border with China. The two have clashed militarily in recent years. Yet India also values strategic autonomy. It partners with the US but does not become an ally in the traditional sense. Complicating matters further is Pakistan, China's close strategic partner and India's long-standing rival. In any Sino-Indian conflict, Pakistan's involvement is almost certain. And historically, the United States has deep ties with Pakistan as well. Add to this the complex historical tensions between Japan and South Korea, or the competing claims in the South China Sea, or North Korea's unpredictable calculus. The Indo-Pacific is not a chessboard with two players. Today's contest between the United States and China is often described as a new Cold War. But unlike the US-Soviet standoff, this rivalry unfolds in a region where economies are deeply intertwined. Supply chains run through the potential battlefields. Trade flows through the contested waters. The Pacific and the Indian Oceans are not just military highways, they are economic lifelines. Over two-thirds of the global trade passes through these seas. So any conflict here would not remain regional, it would be global. The Indo-Pacific is vast, geographically, economically, militarily. It holds the world's greatest hopes for prosperity and its greatest risks of confrontation. The question is no longer whether the balance of power is shifting. It is whether that shift can occur without war. Will the oceans remain highways of commerce, or will they again become theaters of fire? The waters are deep, the fleets are ready, the alliances are tightening, and somewhere between California and Shanghai and between Mumbai and Tokyo, the future world order is quietly being decided. Because in the Indo-Pacific, geography is destiny, and destiny is now in motion.